And welcome back to the Spookytoberfest. I'm Doc Ian, and I'm still working on these Soul Reaver Knights. I've gone ahead and varnished them after finishing off the skulls on the shoulder pads in a kind of a bone color. And also these shields, the ones that don't have the metallic pattern on them, I decided they looked a bit too blank, so I painted some red kind of streaks there. They could be fangs or claws or something. They're a bit ragged, but I thought that was appropriate. And then I varnished them, and I'm testing out how to mount them. And so I clipped off the pin, most of it, leaving just a little bit. And I drilled into the back of a horse, you can see here. And I can fit this on like this. And it fits rather snugly. It used to fit better. Okay. Right, there. The good thing about this is it's pretty stable on there, just pushing it in with the pin. I don't have to glue it in place permanently. That is great. That means I can take these apart for transportation. That would make that much easier. So the next thing to do is, well, I'm gonna pop this off. I'm gonna do this on all of them and drill holes in because the pins are slightly differently placed. It might be the case that each matchup between rider and horse is going to be unique, so they don't fit on the wrong horse. So I will, but I will clip these little spikes, and then we will drill. And after that, the horses will be ready for priming and painting. So, be back when I've done some more work. And this is what one of the horses looks like after I have primed it, a light gray. Then applied a base coat of dark brown to the base. Still patching places, but you know, I'm gonna dry brush more colors on there and then wash, you know, it'll get filled in. And I've undercoated the parts that will be armored with a not quite as dark brown. In this case, I'll do it a bronze. I'll do it a different bronze color from either of the ones I used on the riders, just to set them apart and make them a little bit different. And yeah, I'm considering what areas there are on there. There's the body, which is like exposed bone and flesh mostly, and then there's this cover, the comparison. I don't know how to pronounce it. And possibly you could differentiate between the saddle and this back portion, but I don't see any point because the saddle cloth will get all covered up by the riders. I'm considering doing the cloth here a dark color because the metal is going to be pretty bright. There's going to be a lot of exposed bone, which is pale. So maybe taking that deep blue I used before, which is, in case you were wondering, this color Periscopes is the base tone for that, and highlighted it up with turquoise. And yeah, let's see how this develops. Right, so bases and armor done, essentially. The bases have been made a dirt color with some rocks and some tufts of grass in some cases. They're not very visible, but oh well. Perhaps a little bit light in color right now, but I think it's going to be okay because I'm going to cover a lot of it with grass at the end anyway. So for the armor, I used yet another sort of bronzy color. It's actually this, I don't know if you can tell, the label is so faded. It's a Reaper color called Tarnished Brass is the base for this. The Reaper are good at golds, gold metallics. Yeah, and I think that's just about all that's gonna get done today, I think. I'll give it a rest. I need to sleep on what color to make this horse, the Lord's horse. In the pictures, it's kind of a raw red. It's sort of like painted like it's flayed, but it doesn't look that way to me. I mean, there are patches where the skin is torn open and you can see perhaps muscle underneath, but I think the basic flesh should be something else. We will have to ponder this, and feel free to suggest something in the comments if you have a good idea, something that would mesh well, or at least not clash with the colors on the Lord himself. I don't want to use the exact same color, so not this red or this blue, but who knows. Well, as I said, that's what we will do with the horses so far. So since the first set of undead for this project are coming together, I thought it might be good to look to the future. What's next? Well, I'm thinking, why not continue doing the vampires? So we have these two leaders. We have Lady Ilona, and we have the vampire lord on the Pegasus. And they are slightly different. If we open up the vampire lord and see what we have, well, we have a big square base, and a bunch of pieces. We have a piece of scenery with indentations, which I assume are for the hooves of the rearing Pegasus to be glued into. We have two pieces of body. We have the wings. Two wings coming out from the sides. And the other one. And we have the rider, which is an upper body, a lower body, oh, and a cape, which is separate, is glued on. Interesting, interesting. Now, I noticed on the box art, they've built up a different scenic base. I'm not sure that's needed. Because this is going to be a pretty massive, big miniature in any case. So I'm thinking just gluing this on here and then filling out the edges, of course, and some grit and whatnot. And that'll be enough. I wonder where these wings go. Actually, it's not entirely obvious how this thing goes together. Oh, like so. There's no... I might try pinning the wings. Actually, it seems awfully flimsy just to glue them on like that. And I'm already thinking that as compared to the other cavalry, I might actually affix the rider permanently to this model. Yeah. But not paint him on it, of course. I'll paint him separately. Let's put him to the side for a moment and look at this one. Now, you open it up like this. There's much fewer contents. It's just one-piece model and your ordinary 20mm Mantic base. Now, for this, I'm thinking actually the opposite. I'm thinking I want to build this base up. I want her... This is boring, just having a little bit of tuft of grass and dirt. I'm thinking building up a big rock for her to stand on or something, because as I think I've mentioned, this is a very, very powerful model in the game. And it would make more sense to me to have it be more visible on the battlefield, to have it stand out more. So building up a pillar or a big rock or a lot of rubble or some ruins, something. We'll take a look at that. Anyway, so those are my initial thoughts for these two guys.